Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over what I want to see in Shadowlands. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Now today obviously we're going to be going over what I would like to see in Shadowlands, and this is kind of like not usually like my usual content, and I want to try something a bit new because yeah, why not? What would I like to see as a gold maker and or basically an active player would like to see in Shadowlands? And I've actually jotted down a few of these things pretty much, and I would like to go over them because obviously the first one is a new gold sync mount. Now for me as a gold maker, I would love to see a new gold sync mount. Now I actually stated this on Twitter probably about a month ago or so, and that was basically like, have like a copper, a silver and a gold like style-esque mount, so like gold sync mounts that are like 10 million, 5 million, 2.5 million, and then people can work their way up for that. Now obviously that is a wishful thinking thing for myself, but overall I would like to know what the next gold sync mount is, because obviously in Warcraft you had the Traveler's Mammoth, and in the Mists of Pandaria you have the Yak, and then obviously you've got like the one in BFA which is the Brutosaur. And personally I would like to see is there any gold sync mounts that will be coming into the actual game, because I personally would love to be able to work towards something, because I like making gold, but I would like to see a return for that. So if you get the point of that, the entire essence of like the Brutosaur was get 5 million gold, you get a mount. Not many people can get it because 5 million gold is so much gold. So the idea is I would like to see another gold sync mount, but maybe a little bit more pricier, and then set the barrier to entry a little bit higher, so then people actually have to proper work, and then so people have to like work a little bit harder for next time. So like we're upping the game. So you've already hit the Brutosaur, now let's see if you can hit the mailbox shark. I don't know. You get the point, like a mailbox spider mount or however. Personally, I would actually like to see a mailbox esque gold sync mount moving in. That would go really well with the Brutosaur being able to have auction house compatibility. So when it comes to like mailbox wise, you don't have to use the KT's whistle in order to use a 10-minute mailbox. You can just mount up and use a mailbox, and that would work out really well. I would like to see something like that, especially for me, because then I can just do that anywhere in the entire world. I can just relist and repost my auctions without anyone annoying me. That's something right there that I really would like to see, or something to that effect. Now overall, I would like to see a new gold sync mount. Don't know what it could be, but please let it be a mailbox mount. That would be awesome. Okay, so the next thing that I would like to see in Shadowlands is a better leveling experience. Now, when it came to BFA, for me personally, I found it to be very, very fast, very short-lived. So what I mean by that is I went ahead and I did all the quest lines and I did all the cinematics, and I was like, oh, some of them were pretty cool and all of that. I was like, yeah, okay. Once you had finished the necessary little starting bit, like work your way through all the zones, there was like next to nothing left to do, I found, and it just mainly just consisted of a bit of a lull after that, because you probably went for it at the beginning of an expansion. Everyone goes for it at the beginning of an expansion because you want to hit the max level. Couldn't actually enjoy it at all when it came to afterwards, because what would have worked really well would have been like some sort of like system in place that would have worked better. So like it would have dragged out the content after the leveling experience, so once you're max level it would drag it out a bit more. Came in a bit later on afterwards, and you kind of had like this bit of a lull where you were just doing world quests each day, and it just felt really repetitive. And at that point I really just clocked out until basically the first raid came out. That's pretty much exactly what I did. I was just like, I can't be bothered with all this stuff, so I went back and did like Cataclysm stuff, because what are you gonna do? So yeah, I would like to see a bit of more of a longer lived raid thing. So pretty much a nice little uptick towards it. So like, I don't know, like every week or every 2 weeks, you get like a little extra, I'm not asking for the heavens, but I'm asking for just like a little extra piece of content every like 2 weeks, just to keep everyone up together. They have to constantly look out for it, and then that will keep people more engaged, because they'll still have something to do to work towards it, and maybe have that as you have to do those little quest lines in order to get into the raid, even if it was LFR. Now that would be pretty cool. Like, you have to like do all that jazz before you have to get in there. Like, you have to get a special ring, like remember the thing for like Karazhan and all that stuff, like getting locked behind that. So if you didn't have like the rep or the item, you couldn't actually get in. So that would be something really cool to see implemented in Shadowlands. Now, coming in at number 3, the next thing of note that I would like to see is not just world quest progress. Now, what I mean by this is pretty self-explanatory, really. I don't want to feel compelled to do world quests as my only form of progression. I don't like world quests, and to be honest, with me, when it comes to like inscription, alchemy, and all that stuff, I managed to see like a lot of my stuff was locked behind like Tortolan Seekers and like just rep locks, and it was rep locks on quite a lot of stuff, and it wasn't like try your best at getting a hold of this from this raid boss or something you can try each day or something to that effect. It was all just locked behind rep. It was really, really lazy in order to like execute. It was lazily executed on, and I would like to, and the only method you could really do was your world quests. And to be quite frank, I don't really want to do world quests each day. I don't find them fun at all. I just find them to be tedious, and hence why it took me over a year and a half to actually go ahead and get my flying. That's how much I hate world quests. So, me personally, I would like an alternative for people who do not like to do world quests and have that repetitiveness going into that. So yeah, maybe like something to that effect. The thing that I want to see is, I don't want to see like the majority of my progression just locked behind everything, but with world quests. It's not my cup of tea. It's very boring, if you ask me. But anyways, that is pretty much how I felt like it was portrayed at that point in that expansion. So what else would I like to see going forward when it comes to Shadowlands? Well, I would like the markets to go back to normal. So me currently, I love gold making, and I have done for, well, since vanilla really, but actively got into gold making around about late BC for that one. But other than that, the markets have been absolutely down. That's because everyone's been doing like a mad rush. There's been loads of multi-boxes, there's been loads of boostings and all that stuff. And basically, it's culminating in a lot of people farming up materials and all that stuff, and just the prices have just dropped dramatically. Like, you can have a look at all of the herbs, and they aren't worth next to nothing. And yeah, it's really not worth your time to actually farm up. To be quite frank, that's why I haven't done many material farms, because they're just not worth it to do. And overall, I just don't really see the point in actually farming them up anymore until the markets recover. So that is something I am looking forward to in Shadowlands, is see if the markets reset back to normal. So like, all the items that are like now 5 gold a piece just go back up to their regular. Beforehand they were usually at like a steady 14 gold each, so that would be nice to see them all go back up to normal, and that would be quite nice to see, because then I could actually get back into material farming, because quite frankly on my server at the moment it's kind of dead. So I would like to see the market to get reset and come back to normal with all of the new materials and all the stuff with the professions in Shadowlands that is coming out. So I'm actually looking forward to all the professions to actually explore all of them going forward. But aside from that, that is basically my thoughts and feelings towards like Shadowlands, of what I really want to see. and let's just overview it. I want to see a new Golting mount, don't get me wrong. When it comes to thing, I want a bit more of a longer lived leveling experience, and I just don't want to feel like I have to do world quests as my only option for actually getting progression, along with the markets to go back to normal. That's all I really want to see in Shadowlands, and quite frankly, I don't think that's too much of a tall order to actually go towards. But when it comes to Shadowlands, I do intend to go back into raiding again, so I'm going to actually try and actively raid again. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will try. But yeah, I haven't done that for like the last like 4 years, like proper raiding instead of just LFR. So that's something to get back into the swing of, because I haven't done it for like the last couple of expansions. But aside from all of that, that is pretty much my thoughts and feelings towards what I want to see in Shadowlands. Have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.